Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Hold on, team. Bear with me. Someone decided to log into the Zoom account and boot me out.
Yeah, that's what's going wrong with my computer. Sorry, I just come back in. I got kicked out.
Yeah, no, Mark just booted us out. Just had a word. Sorry, guys.
He's crashing our time.
Everyone got booted
Oh
out.
no!
Okay.
Yeah, no. So they booted me out, PT, which booted everybody out.
That was
Just me. That's good.
Give Mark some hell next time, guys. Give him some.
I was just telling my stepdad off. Are you on my bloody account? And said on Zoom on the iPad.
Oh, I love it. I love it, PT. Release hell. All right. So as I was saying, guys, as everyone starts to come in, it's going to be a case of finding what works for you. Okay. Don't overthink it. Don't be overly complicated. If you're not used to it, just think of one meal and prep that meal and get ready for it. When you get more comfortable with all the prepping, I kind of get to the point where I write out my week of food prep. Kind of like, so like tonight I'm making a homemade katsu chicken curry. I'm going to post the recipe up because it's only 500 calories. But I'm going to make that tonight. I'm not going to portion anything off, but if I was at the gym, I would be portioning it off to take to the work the next day for lunch. And then I plan what we're going to have on Tuesday. So whether I'm going to make a chicken curry of some form to then take in the next day. So just have a little play with it and only focus on one meal to start with. And then as you get more comfortable and confident over the next week, you can then plan a second meal and start adding those in, if that makes sense.
Jen, I have a question. So, for example, I tend to plan what I'm going to cook at the weekend, and that compiles my shopping list because I don't want to go to the supermarket more than once, especially now.
Oh, yeah.
So if I don't do that prep and if I don't know what I'm going to cook, I might not necessarily have everything I need. So that's kind of like the way I'm kind of doing. I watched this program, Tom Kildridge, some time ago, where he was doing this batch cooking, and I kind of picked up some tips from there.
Yep. No, definitely. And I think once you, if you're already used to planning in that way, it's a great way to generate that shopping list. It's also a way to make sure you don't overspend in the supermarket. It's one of the big things I do, which is why I write my meals out for every day of the week. Just so that I know what we need, what we don't need versus what I've got in the cupboards already. A lot of the time, things like the marinades and the sauces and stuff, I've already got a lot of that. So my staple shop tends to be chicken, beef, rice, whatever else I might need to mix it up, potatoes and veggies, like all the fresh food that, you don't tend to keep in the fridge for 2-3 weeks at a time. So it's a really, really good way. So if you are comfortable already writing out the plan of what you're going to eat, it's a great way to do it if you're doing your shop once a week now. A lot of people are, right? It also helps you kind of just fine tune and bring the spending in a little bit, I found. Before I would kind of like just aimlessly wander around the supermarket and then go to the shop 2 days later and I'd find something, bacon, I'm going to grab that because we'll have some bacon sandwiches. And I also, it's one of the other ways that you can then start portioning off what you buy. So if you buy like the big kilo packs of chicken, but you're only going to eat chicken twice in the week, before you freeze it, section it off into little bags, put it in, and then you've only got to grab one bag of chicken every time. There's really little tips and tricks on how to make the most out of the food shop without going OTT on it. But if you're not quite ready to plan to that nth degree yet, then definitely just plan either just breakfast, make sure you've got everything you need for it. So if you're going to do overnight oats, make sure you've got your milk, your oats, your flavorings, and your berries or whatever else it is that you want to put with them, and your protein powder. Does that make sense to people?
Yeah.
Has everyone got something to go away and work with this week when it comes to that bit of meal prep?
Yeah.
I am afraid, because any sort of planning in my life fills me with fear. Commitment and planning. Not my strength.
You can make it fun by not labelling any of your food, I found. So then you have freezer surprise every now and then. You think you're having bolognese, it turns out to be chili, and then the kids aren't very happy. It's quite good fun sometimes.
It is. Then my other half end up taking like bolognese sauce without the pasta, or like chicken without the rice.
Yeah.
Literally, like a great way to do it though, Jamie, is just think about meals that you enjoy and that you like.
Yeah.
If you want to just like eat almost potluck, like pre-prep them if you've got time to pre-prep them. And as Nick and the guys said, don't label it, just chuck it in the freezer or the fridge and then grab it as you go.
So I'm shopping tomorrow.
It's stressed me out way too much.
I'm shopping tomorrow, but I've got a load of veg. So what I'm thinking is I'll just go and cook all the veg now. That can be classed as prep.
Yep.
And then see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Add to it.
I had a load of veg. I did a ragu with it, which was good. So I did a vegetable ragu and I threw in lentils. I've never used them before. I don't cook.
Wow.
But, so I've done that and I found that's quite nice with fish. So if you've got a fresh bit of fish, poach it in that. That's nice. But the ragu, I think, freezes. So it's a good way to use up veggies.
Yeah.
You can mush it down to soup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that kind of sauces, you can even put them in jars and keep them in the fridge. So
I'll cook it all and then turn it into some sort of, which I do anyway without even thinking, just do some sort of tomato, herby, saucy stuff, and then see where I go, and then I'll write a list for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
What I do with all the leftover veg, I just throw them all, stick it in the oven, and put some fish on that for dinner. So that's a tray bake, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, or tray bake. Yeah, tray bake's good.
Oh, absolutely.
Tons of different ways to do it without overthinking it. Like, I don't want you to panic or freak out about it. It's just think of sort of a more of a structure to what you're going to eat. It doesn't mean that you have to say, I'm going to have ragu on Monday and on Tuesday I'm going to have soup. Or just getting to the point where you have enough prep that you don't have to necessarily overthink it. Because again, when you're cooking the kids' dinner and stuff, you don't want to be picking at theirs while you're umming and ahhing what you're going to cook. I mean, you may even get to the point where you eat before the kids' dinner or as you're cooking and you eat your own because it's that much easier to grab. That's kind of where we want to get to a little bit more.
Okay.
You specifically, Jamie, rather than kind of nibbling your way through this.
So I watch Saturday Morning Kitchen and I get inspiration from that. I always pick up a new recipe to try the following week.
I have actually got a couple of recipe packs that I will send out to you guys on my coach a little bit later. They kind of come with a shopping list as well and measurements. Obviously, Ren has been posting quite a lot up as well, but I will send those out. There are some vegan recipes in there as well, it's not all just meat. There's only a couple, but there's some. So
I can find my own.
It's worth having a little flick through and seeing. All of them are relatively easy.
Stick your veggie ones up, B, for me on the WhatsApp group. Give me some inspiration.
Yeah, guys, if you find any good recipes that are really simple and quick, just share them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Jen, I had a question. So, for example, rice and all that from the last challenge I've done, I use American cup measurement. So I use a full cup for a meal for lunch because I don't do rice for dinner. So now with your new suggestion, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, is there like an American cup measurement that we can use for convenience?
It's not necessarily the American cup, so it goes by your portion sizing, right? So your palm of protein, your cup full of. So if you know roughly what that is from an American cup size perspective, like your cupped hand, is it the same as a American cup size of rice? Use it that way, kind of measure it between and work it out from that way. There's not necessarily a direct correlation between it because it is going to be specific to you, right? So your cup size of rice probably isn't going to be the same as my cup size of rice.
I know. So for example, like if you're using like 3/4 of a cup.
Hands.
But then we are different sized people as well, right? So
yeah, so if it's 3/4 of a cup, say for example, then do you take 3/4 of a cup of carbs and the same cup measurement of veg, cooked veg, and then the good fat,
Yeah,
because
that's
1/3, right? Yeah.
That's how I would break it down. Veggies aren't so bad really because veggies are much less calorie dense than your whole grains and your processed grains. So just be smart with it. So if you don't have any of those whole grains later in the evening, then yes, have a couple more during the day. The goal is, your overall measurement. So if it's 4 of your 3/4 cups of grains or carbohydrates that aren't veggies, and you have those before dinner, that's fine. Just don't go crazy at dinner.
So good fats are like the nuts and so forth.
Yeah, nuts, olive oil. If you can, avoid too much butter, but butter's not too bad. Just those kind of healthier things. Avocado is classed as a healthy fat as well. Your fish oils, all of that kind of stuff as well.
Okay.
What is peanut butter?
Peanut butter is technically a healthy nut fat, so you should be okay.
Okay.
But again, it's only a little small serving. It's your thumb size.
Yeah.
So is it cooked weight then with your top?
avocado?
Oh, hold on a minute, guys. Go on, Gemma.
The the carbs, it's it when you're talking a hand like palmful thing, is that the cooked amount or uncooked? It's cooked.
That's the cooked one.
Okay. See, I've been trying to grow my thumb as well so I can get more fat in as well.
Stretching it out a
Smashing it.
Yeah.
Smashing it with hammers.
Oh yeah, almost. I caught it in a blender.
So if you're cooking veg, is it whatever it was after it's cooked?
Yeah, I mean veg I won't worry too much. You probably get more in after it's cooked on veg than if it's not cooked. So with veg I wouldn't panic too much. It's more our processed carbs.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
beetroot. I'm a massive beetroot fan. Is that just classed as like okay, like veg?
Yeah, it's just classed as one of the rainbow veggies. Beetroot's actually really good. PT, did you wanna?
Yes. So I was just gonna say, can you imagine having a nice poached egg on whole grain toast and that size avocado? Can you imagine? Because normally people have like a few thin slices.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's a bloody waste of a fat, I reckon. Avocado
I mean,
that size.
you can use more than one of your servings, right? You don't need to just do the one. You can have 2 or 3. Just be aware when you eat later not to eat avocado again.
Yeah. And also I was wondering, I don't know, for some reason I thought it wasn't allowed milk. But people are using milk in their oats, aren't they?
Yeah, so with milk, it's kind of like, it's down to personal preference. I tend to stick with coconut milk in our household. If you're going to use milk, try not to go for the full fat milk. It's very, very high in the fats. So if you can, try and stick with more natural milks like your soya milk or your coconut milk or your nut milks. Or if you are going to use milk, one of the great ways is just to water it down a little bit.
Okie dokie.
Just use a bit more protein powder, PT. It'll taste great.
I've left it in Aldershot.
Oh no.
Just order more.
I could buy another one.
This is my daughter literally cooking gingerbread. Just hold it up. Gingerbread. That's what my house smells like.
No. Does she want to come over and
Poor Jamie.
It's too much.
My boyfriend asked me to make some flapjacks yesterday, so I did.
Nice.
First time I made flapjacks and they were delicious.
Nice.
We made flapjacks yesterday as well.
We should set up a group, like a little Zoom cook-off.
Yeah.
Get Renna involved as well.
Oh no.
Renna and Nick
want to have a bit of competition.
We can always hide their videos, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Just to make us feel better. Guys, does anyone have any other questions for me? No. All right, so all I want you guys to think about, just to recap, planning either one of your meals for the day, every day, or do a little bit of prep for the week. Don't overthink it, just what your ideal meal would look like and how to get to that planning portion sizing for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, guys. I will fire over some recipes for you guys. It'll probably be first thing tomorrow morning, so I'll fire over some new recipe packs for you guys, just so that you can get a little bit of inspiration. Nick's obviously going to share his.
Are they on the coach? Are they on my coach, Jen?
Yeah, they will be. I'll fire them over on that. It'll be a PDF file for you guys. It's got like a little shopping list in there as well, so it'll help you with a little bit of prep. Just have a little think today what you want to do. Maybe plan for tomorrow. Or your breakfasts or just lunches. And then when you get the recipe packs, just kind of have a little think about what you want to do for the next week. Nina, it's a great opportunity for you to get your shopping list together for next week, seeing as it be your week of food.
I know, on pizzas this week.
But yeah, have a little think about that, guys. All right. And if you guys have got any questions, message on the WhatsApp group or drop me a message on my coach. Yeah.
Okay. Are you putting this on my coach? Because I'm not on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I will send an automated message a little bit later on with all of the details. All right, guys.
All right then.
Okay.
Thanks, Jen.
No worries.
Bye, everyone. See you. Have a good day. Bye.
Everyone. Nick. I love your blackboard.